Getting your chart set up properly matters more than most traders realize. So in this quick walkthrough, Dad's going to show you exactly how to install, split, and configure the new TrendForce Pro T1 and T2 indicators, including the key settings, volume bands, and layout we personally use every day. Let's jump straight into it. Dad, over to you.
Right, now we're going to explain how to set up the charts for TrendForce. So we need to split the charts and then add the two custom indicators to each chart. So how to split the charts is very simple. You go up to the square on the top right hand side of your screen, you just click on it and you look for the two pane option. And once you click that, you will see now your screen divides into two. It's also important to set the right time frame. So the left hand screen we set to 1 minute and the right hand screen we set to 3 minutes. So you can see there's a 3 minute over there and there's a 1 minute on the left hand screen. Then the next step is actually how to find the indicators to load them. So you simply go up to your indicator icon there and you click that and you go to invite only and you will see there's a number of options. So we're firstly going to load TrendForce Pro 1. So we simply click on that and you will see that will load to our left hand chart, which is set to the 1 minute. Then the next thing we do is we click on the right hand screen and we go to indicators again. And now for the right hand side, we go to TrendForce Pro 2. So we simply click on that and that will load the indicator onto the screen. So then the next thing we like to do then is to go to the setup. Now we look at the 3 minute quickly. There's one thing I like to do always is to rid the noise of all the levels on the right. So if you go to the gear icon and you click under style and you scroll down, I just uncheck these three and you will see that will neaten up the screen. So that your 3 minute screen is all ready to go. So we set up with our T2, it should show T2 and it already would have set up correctly all your weekly and monthly volume bands. Now on the 1 minute chart, I'm just going to expand the screen. So in the bottom right hand corner, there's a maximize icon. We click on that. And again, I'd like to tidy up the screen too to take off the information under style. So we just uncheck these bottom three items and there we go. Now the key thing we need to do on our 1 minute screen, which is the left hand side, is to set the volume bands for the last H4 pivot. So what we're going to do is we're just going to uncheck the icon, just make it disappear for now, the indicator. You click there and we're going to change to the 4-hour time zone. So I've already saved it as a favorite, but if you haven't saved it yet as a favorite, the 4-hour time frame, you simply can click on that button down there and you can drop down and you can find the 4-hour. And if you click, you can save it to favorite. So I've set our left hand screen, which is normally our 1 minute, to 4-hour. And then what we want to do is to find the last pivot. Now that simply means the last significant low or high. Now it's not always an exact science, but I like to look at where was the last low or high that sparked a move. So in this case, I'm looking at Thursday, the 30th of April at 1800 hours. You can see that is shown at the bottom of the screen, gives you the exact date and the time. So we want to create a 4-hour pivot with our volume band. So to do that, we go to our T1 indicator, we click on the gear icon, and under inputs, we want to go down to our secondary volume bands. So you can see we got our primary bands, they're already set to the market and session open. We don't need to change that. We scroll down to our secondary volume bands, and now we need to put in the exact date. So it's already set to custom and manual date. We want to enter the time of that pivot. So that was Thursday, 30th of April, 1800 hours. So again, we look under inputs, we go scroll down, and there we find that date, which was 30th of April, 1800 hours. So we click on there, we go to 30th of April, we can see 30th of April, then under time, it was 1800 hours. So let's double check the time, 1800 hours, we scroll down and we put in 1800 hours and we click OK. So now the pivot has dropped on the 30th of April, 1800 hours. So we can turn the indicator on and you can see that. You can see it will look messy, but go back to the 1 minute and all the bands will now be set. So I'll just enlarge the screen and we're good to go. So those bands won't often show on the 1 minute, especially if it's rangy, but you can see there's the upper volume band, the orange showing nicely, and there's the mid volume band H4 to show that we've correctly set the pivot. So if we just restore the screen, we can see now that our 1 minute is set up and so is our 3 minute, and we're all ready to trade. So all the best for your trading. What I would like to show next is what we call lagging the bands. So for example, let's first look at the M1 chart, which is on the left. At the open, if you're trading, say I've got here the Dow, the New York Open at 1:30 a.m., it may be difficult to read some of the levels because the bands have not had time to expand yet. So what you can do is to lag the bands, you simply go to the indicator, you click on the bolt, and under the primary bands, which is what we're looking at, the default is market and session open. You simply click market open, and that's going to then show the bands from the open, which in New Zealand time was 10 o'clock in the morning. So once those expand, you will see then you've got a much better picture of what price action is doing. So here we can see the open was at 1:30 and then price came down and then moved up into the overbought area and then came down. So that is simply how you lag the bands on the M1 chart. So I'm going to set those back to the default, which is market and session open. And then I will show you also what I like to do. You can also lag the bands at the start of the week. So New Zealand on Tuesday morning, because if you look at the charts right now, we've got the session open, New York session open, but at the same time, we got the session open on the 3-minute on the right, but it's also the start of a new week. And so the bands are doing the same thing. So what I like to do just for the morning session, so the New York morning session on Tuesday, the start of the trading week, I lag the bands to the start of the previous week. So it's very simple to do. You just click on the bolts. Under the primary volume bands, we leave that on custom. And under weekly, we go to a manual date and time. Then we simply choose the start of the previous week. So we make sure that we're in May, there we go, May 2026. We go to the previous Tuesday, which would be the 12th in this case, and we go to the New York open time, which is 9:30 a.m. and click OK. And there we can see already, now we've lagged the bands from the previous week, and that'll give us some more identifier levels that we can trade off. So that's simply how you lag the bands on the M1 and the M3.
Alrighty guys, that should give you a clean foundation for getting the new setup running properly. Take a bit of time to get familiar with the layout, the indicators, and the key settings, because the clearer your charts are, the easier it becomes to read the market with clarity. And don't worry, we'll continue expanding on all of these concepts inside our weekly live training Zooms as well. We'll see you in the next session.